Hello everyone and welcome to WSCI Studio, and we are here at Brews Spirits Expo. This is the 6th edition, and I always believe that exhibitions in India got a lot of space. Exhibition in India got a lot of potential because awareness is much required in India. And when we are talking about awareness, we got our guest, Gagan Sharma. I understand it very well that Gagan need no introduction, right?
थोड़ा बहुत will help.
No, but normally होता क्या है that when we speak about the industry, when we speak about all the professionals in this industry, I always say that go without any introduction, so that you will. Otherwise, वो होता है ना कि यार उसी line में लोग सोचने लग जाते हैं.
Right.
So the first question will be Indulge.
Yes.
We'll start from there.
Yes.
So what is Indulge and how you created it?
So I started my journey in the hospitality industry in 2004 with the IHMs, and then from there after masters, international exposure, becoming amongst India's first certified sommeliers, etc. Came to 2020 when the world changed. Hospitality industry changed as well, and that was a point where I thought about pivoting from being an educator to being a curator of various other things as well, which you have seen we have done always. But I was always a part of the team, and this time I thought I could run my own team, and COVID was a very good leveler. So I thought it'll be a good idea to start then, which is also a very difficult thing to do because there was no alcohol in the market. Especially I was in Delhi, there was no liquor, there was nobody who was drinking, and to host events, host competitions at that time was difficult. But at the same time, I saw that this is a level field now. Anybody who was in the trade earlier or later, now we're in the same room. And that's where Indulge started. So the idea of Indulge as a name came from two thoughts. One is we work with alcohol, which is not for consumption but for indulgence. So I think that name came very naturally to us. And second thing, as a word, Indulge also has the first three letters, which is IND, stands for India. So it was just a natural selection that happened. But with Indulge, we do pretty much everything that I've been doing from the last 20 years in the trade. Educate hotels, create wine programs, spirit programs, mixology programs. I have a team of bartenders now in the company. We have created, I think, about 25 cocktail programs in the last 25 months across India.
Okay.
Which is fantastic to do because it not only teaches you the other side of the trade, but as a wine professional, when you look at spirits and cocktails and you look at a guest experience, it is very different because with wines, we are sometimes very astute, right? Where it has to be a little polished. But with cocktails, it's all fun and floric and all. And to bridge the gap, कि मस्ती मजाक में भी एक नज़ाकत होनी चाहिए.
बिल्कुल.
That love of the two sides that comes together, I love it. And that's what Indulge is trying to do.
One thing is very common between Indulge and WSCI, because we also got Wine and Spirits Club of India.
Right.
So we are happy and proud Indians. So, and you said wine. When I look at wine space in India, when we create a concept, then that time we thought a lot of things. When we start executing those, then the situation is different. So my next question will be, when you thought about Indulge, what was the idea that time? And when you are executing it in real world, so what's the difference between both of them?
So I completely agree. I think sometimes we do look at it as a professional. Sometimes we get too technical. And my mother once asked me, "Ye sommelier hota kya?" And I told her the entire idea. And she said, "How does it matter if my Shiraz has notes of chocolate or not? Kiski zindagi mein kya farak pad raha hai?" So I think the biggest shift that has to happen is that while we are training B2B, we get super technical and we get into histories and stories and all. What works on the other side is also to educate people on how to deliver that story and an emotion to the guest. Because you will only get 10 seconds of a guest's attention. उसमें technicals की बात नहीं होगी, उसके अंदर again the emotion of the liquid, why this liquid and not 400 other wines in the exercise list, that is important. So I think the biggest shift that happens when you're planning and executing is you need to be super technical because you also need to get validation from within the community. But when you actually do it for the consumer, for the guest, the technicals go away. Your job finishes when you put it in the bottle and when you are serving it.
Yeah.
But when you are talking to the guest, the language changes.
True.
Right? I always say when I teach as well that back of the house or front of the house ki do languages.
True.
Right? When a chef says Julien, jardiniere, my pois, the cuts of vegetable, a guest doesn't know. They just know that my dish has to look pretty.
True.
And it has to be effective. So I think the biggest change that we are already seeing in India is that people are understanding it and they're creating experiences around alcohol rather than pure just technical education, which I think is a very, very good thing India is now realizing it as well.
And you know, now India is top of the world.
Yes.
You know, I'll say fourth biggest economy or third biggest economy. So we'll go technically fourth biggest economy, fastest growing economy.
Yes.
You know, one of the young country with more than 50% population is below 35 years. All these technically are right, good and good to hear. But from your point of view, what is the current situation of Indian drinking culture? What is the actual scenario?
Well, when you say drinks, it comes to wine, beer, spirits, liquor, cocktails,
Everything,
and a lot more. I think the three things that I would focus on is one, let's not forget that India is only a 75, 80-year-old country. So the first 50 years, our grandparents and parents were hustling just to get a house and a decent living. It's only now generation, which also includes us, although we are not. We are older now. But I think now is the generation that is saying, listen, I press a button and there is a car. I press a button and there is food. So now the ease of getting things is there. Now I want to see, I'm getting a food dish delivered to me, but why this against everything else? So I think now people are looking at experiences. TV shows like MasterChef has put the onus on the producer now that they tell the story of the provenance of ingredient. कि अगर juniper है तो कहाँ से आया?
True.
अगर Cabernet Sauvignon है तो आपका vineyard का elevation or aspect क्या है? If you're creating a single malt whiskey, everybody is putting it in French and American oak cask. What is different in yours?
True.
सब 6 row barley use कर रहे हैं तो आप अलग क्या कर रहे हो? So I think that consciousness has come in, which has shifted people's projection. Also, there is this whole idea that if your father drove a Maruti, you would not want to drive a Maruti.
True.
So if my father drank a certain alcohol,
that's my dad's drink. Yeah.
That's the benchmark.
Yeah.
So I think premiumization has happened.
True.
And with premiumization, as you've been to all across the world, when we talk about these Chateau Margaux and all that, they're at the end of the day just another Bordeaux blend. But what makes them different is the story behind it.
Exactly.
So that storytelling has come in, and I think the industry has embraced it that we are a country of storytellers. अगर हम story अच्छे से नहीं बताएंगे तो कौन बताएगा? And the producers have understood that. So what I think in the drinking culture is now more experiential, more premium, a lot more to do with involving your consumer in. With the entire overall ambience of drinking it rather than just saying, listen, this is a good alcohol, just drink it and get over with it.
True.
Now, if you pick up a gin, you do want to ask, is this a gin and tonic gin? Is it a martini gin? Is it a Negroni gin? Is it a gimlet gin? And now you would have 5 gins for 5 different cocktails. That, I think
things are more personalized.
100%. And I think the consumers are really aware now. Same you see with beers as well. Pehle Pune or Bangalore hua karta tha. But now you go to small little cities. Even Assam, I was surprised such good microbreweries in Assam.
True.
So now people do understand that this is an IPA, but now this is a West Coast IPA. This is a New England IPA. Blah blah. And I think that is very endearing to see. कि हमारा काम अब आसान हो गया थोड़ा सा.
So now little more focus towards wine.
Yes.
We all understand India is a brown spirits country. We drink whiskey and rum more than anything else. And to a population which is for generations drinking whiskey or brown spirits, how difficult, how easy, how convincing it is for asking them to shift from the dark spirit to wine.
So I think the biggest draw here is that we are asking people to shift rather than add to their repertoire. And as Javed Akhtar Saab also said, that any people who have their favorites are amongst the most boring people. Right? कि उनको जिंदगी में एक ही चीज है कि यही करना है, बस शाम को जाना और वही whiskey पीनी है. You're not looking at the bigger experience of life. So I think because of experiential drinking, B, premiumization, C, lesser but qualitative drinking, much like food as well. अब हम रोज सड़क का खाना नहीं खा रहे हैं, हम हफ्ते में एक बार बाहर जाएंगे लेकिन पैसे खर्च करके अच्छा experience लेके आएंगे. I think people have added wines to their repertoire. It is also called the catalyst effect, where what is happening parallelly is Indian wines are making seriously good wines now. I think 20 साल पहले you have also experienced it. वैसा नहीं था. Wineries ही नहीं थी. If you just go back to 2005, exactly 20 years ago, majority of the wineries today were not even there. Right?
I think early 70s or mid 70s में तो start हुआ ये पूरा.
Right.
So I know we are not even very old into the situation.
But I think the confidence that has come into wines, the quality of wines, and the quality of Indian wines has definitely made an impact. People now want to do it. जैसे पहले था ना कि वाइन तो सिर्फ गिफ्टिंग के लिए होती है, अब नहीं है. Now we want to receive it as a gift and drink it as well. So I think it's not a difficult task. I think you're just adding to the repertoire of drinking white spirits, brown spirits, dark spirits कि वाइन भी है. और I think whiskey वाले लोग वाइन भी पीते हैं, बियर भी पीते हैं, कॉकटेल्स भी.
पहला 2 ग्लास वाइन फिर.
Exactly. So I think it's about adding to the repertoire rather than shifting something and making space on your shelf for something else. Yeah.
You know, we got a huge drinking population.
Oh yeah.
Are we
got a big, huge population.
Yeah, we are the most populated country in the world. So, from your perspective, from my perspective, for all the imported and domestic wine available, are we doing enough for the wine awareness in India?
I think so, sir. And let's not forget, and I was on a panel with Rajiv Samant a couple of weeks ago at DLF Magnolias, and that tells you the gentry, the quality of people who were in the room. And they all said, you know, I see a lot of whiskey sessions happening, a lot of gin sessions happening, a lot of cocktail sessions now happening. I don't see a lot of wine sessions happening. And even before Rajiv could have answered, I jumped onto the wagon and I said, listen, their job is to grow good crop, make good wines. Education is a part of theirs, but a lot of onus remains on the people as well. And I think now people are realizing that. There are a lot of wine bars that are there now. We are sitting in Bangalore, and Bangalore in itself has about 5-10 of them. Bombay, Pune is not a very good idea. You go to Nasik and you see that the local janta gets a half a pint of wine, goes to the winery, looks at the sun go down and drink it, and I've seen it. At Shandon, I saw the farmers, they said, this grape that we grow, what do you do with that? We don't know. So at Shandon, you know, they have a small little PDR that you can only reserve and get there. I went, took a wine tour group, and by mistake I opened that door and there were these, you know, farmers, white kurta, Gandhi topi sitting there, their kids running around in frocks, drinking bottles of Shandon one-on-one.
Wow.
And they came in these big Fortuners. And they were like, Acha, hamare angur ka ye hota hai. Ab theek hai. Right? So I think the bigger change is not happening in the cities. And we look at it because financially they're important. But I think the bigger population, the bigger change is happening in the B and C tier. You go to Lucknow, you'll be surprised. You go to Indore, I'm coming from Indore. Just yesterday I came from there. Supreme market, Jaipur, very different world altogether.
You know, with my last assignment, I always say, go to Shillong.
Yeah, absolutely.
The wine culture is completely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's completely different.
Yes. In Goa, if you go, you will see a husband-wife coming there. A wife might order a beer, but a man generally orders a half a pint of wine and just drinks it. And so it's not even a gender thing or anything. It's just a thing that, listen, life is there. We have to enjoy it. There's a good wine sitting there. We need to have a conversation. People are now indulging in that.
Okay. Another prospect. We all are living that social media life also.
Yeah.
So when we look at social media, we look at wine and spirits, gin trend, and all those things on social media versus the real world. What's the difference?
I think anything that happens in terms of awareness, even on social media, even if it happens with a dance, even if it happens in a quirky, funny manner, anything of that sort, anything that kindles a conversation, excites the consumer to learn better and to, drink better is always a good thing. I think you can't reach a consumer in a room every single time. That 2 minutes of conversation in a restaurant cannot always happen.
True.
So how do you open a wine? How do you keep a wine? which wine to drink, why to drink it, glassware, the importance. I think social media is a very good channel to do that. Of course, everybody has restrictions when it comes to marketing and communication with alcohol in India. But I think so far, whatever is going on is fantastic. I think also not just the drinking part, but also the tourism part of it. That now when you look at a video of Sula Fest,
True.
or let's say just the accommodation at Valone, Sula, when you look at these experience centers, people add it to their travel list and say, Nasik jayenge,
This is in my bucket list.
Shirdi jana hai, but Sham ko Sula bhi jana hai, Valone bhi jana hai,
Good one.
Goa
Yeah,
bhi jana hai.
yeah.
And I think that trickles down into a bigger chunk of population. कि यार इनकी photo तो अच्छी आएगी, अपने को भी जाना चाहिए.
Yeah.
So I think if in case that kind of a work is going on, it's always good.
True.
It's
You know,
always
I will
good.
just add one thing into this. I was able to see one of the presentation that UP government made. So they added something called temple tourism.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
So what you said that Shirdi to jana hai, but Sula bhi jana hai.
100%.
So that way, when
100%.
a lot of tourism is happening in any particular state, the consumption is growing.
100%.
Consumption is definitely growing.
Absolutely. And I think again it comes down to the fact that हम जा रहे हैं, हम ये चीजें तो देखेंगे जो सब देखते हैं, जो TripAdvisor पे है या कहीं पे है, हम अलग क्या कर रहे हैं. And I think with now people who are living in this society, there is no hitch, there is no excuse why would you not go to a meadery, a brewery, a winery, even a distillery. I mean, you might have seen the number of people who go to Paul John when they are in Goa. Okay, Paul John जाएंगे, wine whiskey कैसे बनती है देख के आएंगे.
True.
It's always a good thing. So,
and I really like the way you said that we got the freedom in 1947. The first 40-50 years, it was we were in a survival mode.
Absolutely.
So today, when we look at in 2025, what do you think? What is the exposure of Indians towards the world of wine?
I think it is only growing, and I'm pretty sure you've seen it yourself as well in the last 20 years or more than that. I think it is growing. If you see numbers of any winery, even though there is a global slump, the proportion of slump in India is much lesser. From 50,000 bottles that Sula created in their first vintage to now, which is I think 1.5 million bottles.
Massive difference. Yeah,
it's crazy.
Fratelli
has added 2 more wineries within the Akluj winery, 2 more wings to it, which means the production is going up. Same goes with Grover, same goes with a lot of other people as well. So I think the exposure is there. With experience and with more travel and exposure, the quality of exposure will only grow. From drinking a cheap Chilean or Australian or an Argentinian wine, you will eventually move up, maybe to the New World itself, but from Jacob's Creek and Yellowtail, you might come to a Penfolds, to a Taylor's, to a Yering Station, etc. And I think that will happen only slowly. वो तो मतलब हम लोगों ने भी जिंदगी में बचपन में पहली बियर गाड़ी में बैठ के गरम ही पी थी plastic glass में. Now we guys are telling the tales to other people. So I think it's a progression that will slowly happen. And as you mentioned, the largest young population in the world is in India. And this young population is not only in India, they are traveling. And whenever they travel, they bring a lot of lifestyle back. And I think there is no lifestyle brand which is not looking at India.
And this brought the next question of mine. We both are proud Indian.
Oh, 100%.
So when we say Mera Bharat Mahan, हमारा वाइन का क्वालिटी भी मेरा भारत महान है क्या?
I'm the biggest unpaid, unofficial brand ambassador of Indian products. Good, bad, ugly. हर section के लिए एक product होना चाहिए. And I very strongly say this, that between 2005 and 2025, ये जो 20 साल है, you take this 20 years, challenge any country in the world कि आप अपनी जिंदगी के कोई भी 20 साल लगा करके हमें दे दो कि गगन सन 1607 से 1627 में फ्रांस में देखो क्या मजा आ गया लाइफ में. The quality of work that has happened in India in the last 20 years, I think no country in their history ever would have done it. We are not on the grape belt. हमको सारी knowledge ग्रेप बेल्ट वाली कंट्रीज ने दी है जो हम पे अप्लाई नहीं करता. हमको पहले 7 साल तो वही समझने में लग गया कि भाई विनयार्ड ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे प्लांट करना है. foreign winemakers came and taught us how to make wines, which were relevant to maybe them. हमारा consumer किसी ने भी नहीं समझा.
True.
Now, when you go to any big winery in India, Indian producers are producing it. Indian winemakers are making it. They are doing good labeling and good
quality packaging,
name and everything as well. They now know कि मेरे को Indian producer को क्या देना है. And I detest this question कि क्या ये wine हमारे खाने के साथ जाएगी. I don't remember when was the last time my mother said आज घर में भिंडी बन रही है, Sauvignon Blanc खोलो. That never happened. We never heard that generation, right? So
it was never part of our culture.
Yes.
So yeah.
So I think if you go to Sula's website and all that as well, and you see, open this Chenin Blanc with samosa. While that will never happen, but mentally you're like, oh yeah, this is approachable.
Yeah.
So I think I'm a big supporter of what Indian wineries are doing. Wherever there'll be good wines, there will be a mediocre level product as well, which is also required in the industry. Not everybody can have the same palate.
True.
So I personally feel not just Indian wines, Indian gin, Indian whiskey, Indian rum, Indian Feni, Mahua, now brandies as well, the beers that we are making, the meads that we are making. Excellent.
True.
I'm a little jealous of my nephew and niece that they will start drinking good beer.
From there. They will start from there.
तो गरम Yevat 5000 से शुरू हुआ था हमारा. So yeah, big believer in what India is producing and the quality of it as well.
Indulge in next 5 years.
Like there's a lot of stuff. We guys have now written our own wine books, our own spirit and mixology books, which we have not told to the trade. I think the WSCI people will be the first one to know. But that there is a lot of work that needs to be still done to community building, and not just community building in the sense of education, but what India is. So, आपको तो पता ही है, I'm a certified mountaineer. I have a Limca book record for being the only Indian.
I am jealous. I envy whenever I see that base camp.
Yeah. So I'm a mountaineer by study. I've studied Urdu. I have a Limca book record for being the only Indian to have traveled to all the UNESCO World Heritage Sites in a year. So मेरी जो इंडिया के लिए जो नज़र है वो population और economy वगैरह नहीं है. It goes to the point of कि खजुराहो ने हमें क्या सिखाया, कोणार्क सन टेम्पल ओडिशा ने हमें क्या सिखाया, बोध गया ने हमें क्या सिखाया, history, तो थोड़ा उर्दू नज़ाकत and all that.
And my job heritage.
Is to 100%.
There is I have not ever experienced any country with such rich heritage that India has.
So now my biggest ambition is that anybody who comes into the hospitality industry learns about the heritage of India, learns about what a philosophy India is, and take a lot of pride in that. And I think now if you see in terms of wines, in terms of spirits, in terms of cocktails also, there is a certain responsibility that the bartenders have taken, the producers have taken, that we want to tell the India story. And I think during COVID, anything that came out, right, all these gins, all these rums that have come out, they've all come out with a little bit of an accent of India and a storytelling. Label pe bhi hona chahiye, naam bhi aisa hona chahiye. And I think that has already started. Somebody has to drive it, and I'll be more than happy to do it.
I can name 20 odd brands which got that Indian pronouncing 100%. India, Hindi, or something India in that product, which is good.
So I'm also the brand guide for Hapusha.
Okay.
And what people don't know is that Hapusha is the Sanskrit word for juniper berries, which is written in our Vedas.
Okay.
Our history, heritage, Himalayas, that's what I love. Hapusha stands for all of that. So it was only natural that you work with a brand like that. And now that you know that story and India will enjoy this kind of a story, somebody has to take the onus.
True.
ऐसे बने ना बने लेकिन रात को नींद अच्छी आती है.
वो जरूरी है.
बहुत जरूरी.
So last final word from Gagan to the world.
Look at India, be very proud of it. As industry professionals, take a lot of pride in telling that you are from India. But when you say that, do understand that you are the ambassador of India to the world. That also comes with a little bit of responsibility that our wine industry is very limited. Our whiskey, our gin, our beer, our meadery industry is very, very limited. Know those brands that have actually put India on the world map. Because if you see a French person walking in the room and you say, I make wines in France, you'll be like, oh, they know their wines. If a Scottish person walks in and say, I know my whiskeys, you'll be like, yeah, this person knows whiskey.
True.
But that is yet to happen with India. But it's slowly happening. But that is still to happen with India. And I think the golden age has been there from the last 15 years. I think we both will agree that.
Yeah, completely.
हम हर साल बोलते थे, oh, this is the golden era, this is the golden era, this is the golden era, but that golden era is just continuing, and COVID has only added to that. So I think look at Indian produce, look at Indian stories, look at Indian professionals with a lot of pride, a lot of responsibility, and yeah, attach yourself to a mentor who would make you skyrocket. And I'm telling you that there are only good people in the industry who would want you to succeed. So ask for help, ask for assistance, ask for mentorship, and trust me, the place to be.
Yeah.
India. Yeah.
And little more, we just released the 50th edition of 0 Kilometer.
Fantastic, sir. Congratulations.
So we're doing good. Currently, we got good 1,03,000 plus readership in 30 countries.
Fantastic, sir.
So I thought to give it to you.
Kya baat hai, sir.
And have a look. Let me know your feedback.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And it is always pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, sir.
On camera, off camera. So thank you very much for coming to WSCI Studio.
Thank you.